In previous videos you learned how to use Delphi Sqr function. In this video we will explore the Sqr function again. We will also explore square roots and exponentiation. I will demonstrate the concepts in this project. Hi, it's Gerard here from LearnDelphi, where I help you to grow your Delphi programming knowledge and skills step by step and line by line. If you see value in this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And all the links that I mention in this video, you can find linked in the description box below. Let's jump in. Let's first look at the solution of the project we will create. You will type a number in this edit, and then the square button must square the number. The square of 9 is 9 times 9, which is 81. The square root button must check which number can be multiplied by itself. The square root of 9 is 3, because 3 times 3 is 9. With square, you multiply the number by itself. The power button raises the number to the power of the value in the spin edit. So 9 to the power of 1 is 9. 9 to the power of 2 is 81. And that is the same as squaring the number. 9 to the power of 3 is 729. That is 9 times 9, which is 81. And 81 times 9 is 729. In every video we focus on a specific lesson and use those concepts in a sample project. We do our project step by step and test our code at regular intervals to see the results after I explain the code. I do not show you how to create the user interface, so that you only focus on the code of the lesson we are doing. If you want, you can download the user interface and any other assets I use in the project to start immediately where I start with this lesson. The starter project files of this project is available for download on my Patreon page at patreon.com/LearnDelphi. That link is also in the description. And I'm using Delphi 10.3 Community Edition to record these lessons. There's also a link in the description if you want to download a free copy of Delphi. You can pause the video here, go do the downloads, and meet me here again to do the rest of the project with me. If you downloaded the starter files, open it in Delphi. Double-click the square button. The button's name is btn square. Go above the begin statement, type var, press enter and type int number, int square as integer. Int number must read and store the number that the user typed in the edit. Int square must store the result after we square the number. Go under begin. Type 3 comments to separate input, processing and output. Go under input. Type this statement. Here we read the text of edt number. Then we convert it to an integer and assign the result to the integer variable named int number. Go under processing. Type this statement. Now we take the value in int number and square it with Delphi Sqr function. Then we assign the result to the integer variable named int square. Go under output. Type this statement. We take the value we assigned to int square in the previous statement, convert it to a string, and assign it to the caption of a panel named PNL square. Run the application. Type 10 into the edit. Click the square button. The output is 100. I explained the square function before, but let's look at it again. Delphi Sqr function receives a number as input, and it returns a number to the calling statement. If the number it receives is 10, that will be the same as saying 10 to the power of 2. The result will be 100. 10 to the power of 2 is 10 times 10, which gives 100. Let's try another number. Type 2 in the edit and click square. The output is 4. That is 2 times 2. And 3 times 3 is 9. Close the form. Click the Design tab to view the form in Design View. Double-click the square root button. Go above Begin. Type var. Press enter and type int number as integer. Enter and type SNG square root as single. Go under Begin. Type 3 comments to separate input, processing and output. Go under Input, type this statement. We read the text of EDT number and convert it to an integer and assign it to the integer variable named int number. Go under Processing, type this statement. Now we take the value in int number and get the square root with Delphi Sqrt function. Then we assign the result to the single variable named SNG square root. Notice this is not the square function we used earlier. This one is Sqrt with a t at the end. Go under Output, type this statement. We take the value we assigned to square root in the previous statement. Then we convert it to a string using a fixed float format with 4 digits, of which 2 are decimal digits, and assign it to the caption of a panel named P&L square root. Run the application. Type 100 in the edit. Click the square root button. The output is 10. Delphi calculates the square root with its built-in Sqrt function. It receives a number as input, and it returns a floating point number to the calling statement. If the number it receives is, for example, 9, the result will be 3. That is because 3 times 3 is 9. So it's just the opposite of square. Let's look at a few more. The square root of 64 is 8, because 8 times 8 is 64. 25 will return 5, because 5 times 5 is 25. Let's try another number. Type 4 in the edit and click square root. The output is 2, because 2 to the power of 2 is 4. That is 2 times 2. 16 returns 4, because 4 times 4 is 16. And 64 is 8 times 8. Close the form. Click the Design tab to view the form in Design View. Next to the Power button, we have a spin edit for the exponent. Your users must specify the power to which a number must be raised. The square function will always raise a number to the power of 2. In other words, the number multiplied by itself. But we also want to give the ability to raise a number to a higher power, like 10 to the power of 3, which is like saying 10 times 10 times 10. Double-click the Power button. Go above Begin. Type var. Press Enter and type int number, comma, int exponent, as integer. Enter and type SNG result as single. Int number must read and store the number the user typed in the edit. Int exponent must store the number from the spin edit. And SNG result must store the result. We made it a single because the result may be a floating point number. Go under Begin. Type 3 comments to separate input, processing and output. Go under Input, type this statement. We read the text of EDT number and convert it to an integer and assign it to the integer variable named int number. Press Enter, type int exponent, colon equals, sed exponent dot value. We get the value in the spin edit and assign it to the integer named int exponent. Go under Processing, type this statement. We get an error, but we will fix that in a moment. We take the value in int number and raise it to the power of the number stored in int exponent with the power function. Then we assign the result to the single variable named SNG result. The power function is defined in a unit called math. To have access to it, you must first reference the math unit in the users clause at the top of your unit file. You can scroll up, or you can drop this arrow down and select Interface Users clause. Put your cursor here and type math and a comma. Scroll down to the Power button's click event handler. Now the power function doesn't show an error anymore. The power function receives 2 inputs. Both inputs are numbers. The first one is the base number, and the second parameter is for the exponent. So if the base number is 9 and the exponent is 2, it's like saying 9 to the power of 2, or 9 square. The result is 81, because 9 times 9 gives 81. If the base number is 9 and the exponent is 3, the result is 729. 9 times 9 is 81. 81 times 9 is 729. Now let's do the output. Go under output, type this statement. We take the result we assign to SNG result and convert it to a string. Then we assign it to the caption of the panel name P&L Power. Run the program. Type 10 in the edit. Leave the spin edit as it is. Click Power. 10 to the power of 1 stays 10. Change the spin edit to 2. Click the button. 10 times 10 is 100. That is the same as square. Change the spin edit to 3. Click the button. 10 times 10 is 100. 100 times 10 is 1000. Close the form and save the project. Next time we will continue with mathematical functions in a new project. If you had fun with this project, leave a comment under this video. And if you learned something new, please like, subscribe and share my lessons with your friends. Thank you for watching, and a special thank you to my supporters on Patreon. Happy coding! See you next time.